class. It's our last week. Can you believe it? I hope you've had a good spring semester. I hope that your classes have went well. And I really hope you've enjoyed the college experience. I know I always enjoy teaching it. There's so much good information, I think, for college freshmen, whether you're returning to college, whether it's your first semester of college, whether you're young, whether you're an adult. I think there's a lot of good in here, and I hope that you have found a lot of useful information, and I hope that you'll keep my contact information should you have any questions later on down the road. I know we've not got to meet face to face. I know that we have only been able to communicate through email, and that's okay. So I miss that I don't get to see you guys, but this is such a great way for many of you to get an education, and I'm so glad it's available for you. So keep my information. I'll be around. Find me through Walter State. You can also find me on social media, but I look forward to hearing what all takes place in the rest of your life. So let's talk about this week. There's several things that we need to talk about that are important. First of all, I put this up last week for a peer mentor. We just experimented with the peer mentor this semester, so we're just kind of getting it off the ground, and we're really not quite sure how it's going to work with online or what else we can do. So it may have just been, kind of something that you only got to email with the peer mentor. Maybe you didn't have any experience with her at all. Whatever it was, please fill this out and submit this to the Dropbox. If you saw the note, it's worth 5 points, so that I'll apply that to your bonus. So you can just stick that right over there in the Dropbox I've got somewhere. Let me find it. Yeah, right here. If you'll stick that in there, so it looks like there's been 4 submitted so far. So if you'll put that in there, I need these by Sunday night at 11:30, and we're going to talk about that date too in just a minute. But let's talk about your homework this week. This is the last week of classes, the last week for finals. So I opened up chapter 12 for you last week. So you're going to want to make sure that you've got that submitted by Sunday night, again at 11:30. There's chapter 1 and 2 from pages 291. I actually have those in there for you, but make sure you submit 1 to each Dropbox, because if you remember, the grades are tied to each Dropbox. If you put both of them in one, you won't get a grade for the other, and it's a lot easier for me to keep up with. I want you to make sure you know who your career advisor is, or who the career advisors are. This is different from your regular advisor, and there's a contact sheet also here that lists their information, because I want you to know who to go to if you have a question. Then I want you to think about what career you want, or what career you're kind of thinking about. It doesn't matter if you don't know for sure. I have students say, well, what if I change? Well, I'm not going to come hunt you down in a year from now because you changed from nursing to engineering or something, Just for right now, try to find someone who has the job that you would like to have in the future, and think of some questions to ask them, and get a feel for them. Maybe ask them about their job. What kind of training did they have? What's, a roundabout of their pay? Don't want to be nosy or anything like that, just to give you more of an idea. And then write those questions down, and just kind of write some of their responses down too. Or if you'd rather just do it kind of in a paragraph, here's what I did, here's what I interviewed, that's fine too. So either way you do that is totally fine. Of course, make sure you submit that in the Dropbox by Sunday night. You also have, and here's the directory of who the career advisors are. Now, you have your final this week, so it's super important that you get that done by Sunday night at 11:30. And here's what I'm going to say about that. So the exam opens. You've got chapter 12 quiz to take. It's due Sunday night at 11:30. You've also got the Unit 3 exam due Sunday night by 11:30. Plus, you have your post-test. Now, if you remember at the first of the semester, you took a pre-test, and that just kind of gauged what you know. And so now you're going to take a post-test. Those do not count against you. They only count for you. If you get so many right, you might get a couple bonus points. So I'll take that pre-test and that post-test and add those points together, and that is added to your final grade. So you will have a final grade with those points, and so we'll know those, of course, later in the week. Now, let me say one thing. Grades are due Monday, May the 6th at 9 o'clock. So I should not have made this final due Sunday night at 11:30, because some of you may wait till Sunday night at 11:30. So if there's any way you can take that any earlier, I need to, be up early Monday morning to have grades turned in, or they will be calling me. So the more that the earlier you take your exam, it's going to be easier for me to be able to turn your grades in. That doesn't mean that you have to do it, because I put that date out there. So, we're good with that. But if you take it earlier, that would be wonderful. So you've got 3 things you'll need to do this week. You'll need to take your Chapter 12 quiz. You'll need to take the post-test, and then you'll need to take your Unit 3 exam on top of also turning in the homework. And then you'll also need to turn in your grade check. So I've got the Unit 3 grading sheet. Make sure you fill that out. If you've got all P's, for the semester, then go ahead and right here you can put 100 down times the 0.10, and you can pretty much know what your grade is other than the pre-test and post-test bonus points, and I'll add those in as well too. Now I'll also open up your final grade this week once everything's turned in, so that you can see what your grade is as well as soon as everything's submitted and I've tallied everything. So I know that's a lot of information. I'm sorry to have to give you all this information at one time, but we're wrapping up, the semester, and I want to make sure everything's taken care of. So if you have any questions whatsoever, please don't hesitate to reach out to me by email, send me a text on Remind, whatever's easiest for you. I just want to make sure you understand what your grade is before you actually see your grade on StarNet, so there's no question whatsoever. So again, this is the week 2. I'm always telling you, double check, triple check everything, so make sure you're doing that. You guys have a great week of finals. I hope they go well. Saying a prayer for each of you and your futures. It's been great to work with you. I will miss doing these every week and communicating with you, but again, never hesitate to reach out to me. If you have any feedback too for the class, I would love to have it. It won't count against you if you say anything bad, and it won't count for you if you say anything good. So, give me some feedback. Were these videos too long? Were they helpful? Did you like the homework? Was the homework too much? What did you think of the book? I would love that feedback. I love to hear what students say, because I do this so much. I've taught this since 2009. Sometimes we just get repetitive. I try to change it up each semester, but I never, know really what you guys think. Sometimes students don't want to communicate to instructors what they think. So I would love to hear that. I may later in the week too open a Dropbox up and just give you a chance to give me some feedback. Again, it will not count against you. It will not count for you. It's just you talking to me and giving me feedback as an instructor. I would love to have that. So I'm going to end this video. It's been so long. It's been great working with you. I will miss you guys. Have a wonderful summer. Whether you're taking classes, taking some time off, have a wonderful academic career. Some of you are graduating, going to another college and doing dual colleges and whatever. You guys got so much going on. Proud of you. Hang in there. Have a great week.